Hi, I'm the new guy over at Movie Guys 101. You know Corey, Mark? Well, I'm their friend, and I've done a couple reviews with them, and they decided to make me official. So, Movie Guys, not just two people anymore, it's actually three. How cool is that? Now, I've done lots of movie reviews with Corey, my first one being Dead Man on Campus, and a couple others which I really can't remember. I think I did UHF and oh yeah, just did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. A little debate on that. I think I won. Anyway, yes, I am the new guy over at Movie Guys 101. Name's Joey. All right, so today we are going to be reviewing something very special, something dear and close to my heart. That's right, kids. For those of you who don't know, my top three favorite directors are Stanley Kubrick for number one, Steven Spielberg for number two, and Jim Henson for number three. Today's movie review is going to be none other than The Muppet Movie. Awesomeness. Okay, so Muppet Movie, of course, was made in 1979. It was the first Muppet film ever. This following the very successful, well, define successful, very successful Muppet Show happening quite prior to that. And speaking of prior, guess who's in the new Muppet Movie? Richard Pryor. Yes, Richard Pryor was in this movie for 1979, along with other star-studded cast, such as a very young Steve Martin, Bob Hope, you know, the Bob Hope, I mean, oh my gosh, Merton Burl, so many others, and Orson Welles. I mean, it's like, you say the names of the cameos that appear in this movie, and it's just like, oh my gosh. It's like, I gotta see this movie. Okay, so anyway. For those of you who don't know about Jim Henson, Jim Henson was basically this puppeteer. Think everyone knows that by now. But what happened was, he went to, he came to America to studios to pitch his idea. To pitch his idea about a puppet show. The Muppet Show. He was trying to get the Muppet Show off the ground. But the problem was none of the studios wanted any part of his puppet show. It's like, dude, you must be smoking something if you expect us to have a puppet show, singing and dancing puppets, a frog and a bear. Dude, you smoking something. Gonna reject your idea. But there was one guy who believed in Jim Henson. That's right, it was some British guy who I can't remember his name. Some British guy. You are awesome. Anyway, this British guy helps out Jim Henson. Says, I know what you want, because I get it. It's like that telepathic, I get it. That's what he did. A little twinkle of the eye. Wink, wink. It's like, I know what you want, and I'm going to make it come true. So, basically, the Muppet Movie, after the Muppet Show got off the ground, they decided to make the Muppet Movie, which would be the first of many Muppet films to follow. And, unfortunately, only one of the good ones. But this is the original classic. Basis of all the Muppet movies to follow. So, the Muppet Movie is basically an analogy, it's actually an analogy on Jim Henson's career. How Jim Henson started out as a filmmaker. It's a complete analogy of that. But instead of Jim Henson, it's Kermit the Frog, Fozzie Bear, etc., etc., etc. And they're all, going to Hollywood. And the British guy... excuse me. Alright, sorry. The British guy, who I mentioned earlier, who helped him out, is featured in this movie, except he's played by Orson Welles. And Orson Welles, known for his voice work, speaks one line in the whole film. It's like, "What of the big and famous contract for Mr. Kermit the Frog?" It's like, I wonder if that's going to be Orson Welles' most famous line. No, of course not. Anyway, so Jim Henson makes this movie, 1979, through California. He tries to simulate this as a road trip across America. The funny thing is, it was all filmed in California. Nowhere else in the entire country was it filmed. Just shows how much Jim Henson was given to make this film. You know, I don't think he could have afforded to go elsewhere. But, you know, it worked. It gave the illusion that they were driving across the country, even though they were only driving across California. Moving right along. And that was the other thing, the songs. Jim Henson knew how to create memorable songs for this film. And he knew how to make the characters, like, really sing this. I mean, come on. Rainbow Connection, Moving Right Along. All of these songs are just so memorable. You know, they just hit the spot. You know, this film, along with all the other Muppet films, well, to some certain extent, they're really family films. You know, there's references that only adults would get, and, you know, it's overall enjoyable for the kids, because it's, you know, funny puppets. Or should I say Muppets? Sorry. But, today, yes. So, Muppet Movie. It's a great family movie. I love it. Cinematography is good for what Jim Henson was given. You know, characters, star-studded cast, great comedy, great family film. If you haven't watched it, you are a horrible person. I mean that with true sincerity. You are horrible. You're a horrible person. You think that John Lennon deserved to die. Kind of horrible person. Because I swear, John Lennon was, like, in that theater watching this movie. It's like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. Because, I mean, this film was, like, at the time, like, the best thing ever. Because it was, like, had such a great message at the end. It's like, you know, you can achieve anything. Just had that kind of message to it. Everyone wanted to be a part of that. That's why everybody loved the Muppets. And that's why, you know, they would closely follow with the sequel. And in true Movie Guys 101 fashion, I have to give this movie, on a 1 to 5 scale, I am giving this movie an absolute 5. This movie is flawless. This movie is entertaining. It's overall great. And remember, you're a horrible person if you haven't seen it. Or if you're a horrible person and you don't like it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed me. If you like me, comment in this comment section below. Because if you don't like me, I get fired. No, don't fire me. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. And if you want to read my full review of Muppet Movie, go to my Rotten Tomatoes review. I don't have an exact link to it because Rotten Tomatoes is kind of set up weird where you can't read individual reviews. But all my reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, you can friend me on there. I will not reply to your messages because I just received so many BS messages on Rotten Tomatoes it's not even funny anymore. But if you look on my friends, you'll see Corey there. Be sure to friend him. Duh. And I hope you enjoy me. I hope you enjoy all these reviews. Keep watching. Right here. And pretty soon, coming soon, little FYI, me, Corey, and Mark, we're all going to get together and review one movie. I can confirm that. We're going to do that. We don't know what movie yet, but it's going to be awesome. I can guarantee it. So, anyway, I'm Joe Trask. Check us out. Subscribe. Woo! Go Muppets. Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La 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 dee da la la. Come Frog here.